I think steroids are as American as apple pie.
Bang it! You're watching Muscle Sport Magazine.
Alright guys, we're actually going to do triceps today. And yes, the floating head is going to be going in a minute. You're going to see me in the gym. No, I'm not really going to be training triceps, but I'm going to teach you how to do triceps, alright? Now here's the thing. First off, understand that I'm not as big as I was because I haven't been training because, like I said, as you all know, my father just passed away and I had to take care of the family and a lot of stuff, so I haven't trained, right? But I still look pretty good. Second of all, let's just talk about training for a second. Refer to my last video called My Training Strategy, okay, to really understand how we're going to be training. Now understand this, okay? There's a lot of pro bodybuilders out there, all right, who are genetic freaks. I've actually seen a pro bodybuilder stand there and do nothing but a couple cable curls, a couple press downs for his tricep. You know, just stand there, talk in between sets, take 5 minutes between sets, talk to chicks while he's doing a set. He's talking to a girl and everything like that, and he's jacked. He's fucking pumped up. See, that can't work for you. He's a genetic freak, okay? He could blow a fart like this, and he just grew fucking an inch on his arms. It doesn't matter what he does. He grows like a weed. When somebody's so genetically gifted, they're so genetically elite, I'm telling you, blowing a fart, put an inch on his arms. You might be a hard gainer, okay? If you're the average guy, do what I tell you to do. Follow my strategy and mix it with the exercises the way I'm going to show you. You could do other exercises than the ones I'm going to show you here. I'm just going to show you the most important way to train. Look, I can stand here and do my workout like you see a lot of these other guys like, today we're going to be doing triceps. And they're getting over there and they're fucking, you know, and you're watching them in the gym all sweaty and pumped and they're putting on crazy weights. That's great. But I'm going to tell you how to make the triceps grow. How to hold your hands. What's best for the triceps. Like, you know, we're going to get into shit here. Right? I'm not going to just show you. You already know these exercises. But I'm going to show you how to do them right. And why to do them the way I do them. Okay? Because, guys, I really want to see you grow. I really do. I want to help you. Again, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. Alright? I'm not fucking, you know, with a supplement company. I'm not doing personal trainings and shit. I'm just telling you, I want to help you. So, if you follow what I show you, you're going to love what I show you. Alright? Even the hardest gainer will gain if you watch my videos. All of them. And we're going to be doing every body part. I'm going to be doing every body part. So don't worry. Some of you guys, you're doing calves. Dude, you know what the problem is with calves? I would do calves first. The problem is that the gym that I fucking train at doesn't have a standing calf machine. Sorry. And I'm a firm believer you got to do standing calves. So I'm going to have to do it at another gym. And it's hard to take a camera in there and do all that shit. But we're going to do it. So relax. But I guarantee you this. You're going to fucking feel pain. My calf. What I should show you how to do calves. I can put calves on a fucking toothpick. On a stick. Alright. Enough of that bullshit. We're going to go to the gym right now. You're going to see. You know, I'm not as big, bro. Okay? I'm not as big as I used to be. And I haven't been training. But I look, you know, I look alright. You know, I got a complex, so relax. Anyway, I'll come back when we're all done. Alright? Watch this video. I hope it helps you. I really do. And let me just say another thing really fast here. Before we start the video. I know a few guys a little bit panicky. They say, well, how can you cut down, you know, about my strategy video? They're saying, well, Greg, how can you cut down your rest periods and still, you know, one guy's like, oh, but your ATP doesn't, come back fast enough and all that. Listen, bullshit. let me tell you, at first it's going to be hard for you to do. But if you keep doing it, your strength's going to go up. Yeah, your strength's going to go up. I know that sounds crazy, all right? But it's a different form of training. It's very intense. And at first, you're going to get a little weak. You're not going to be able to push the weights because you're getting cut in your rest periods. But if you continue to do it, your body will adapt. Your body struggles to maintain homeostasis, which is normality. Whatever you do, your body will adapt to it. And trust me, you won't have it's almost impossible to have a bad workout when you cut your rest periods. The intensity is that great. You don't have to listen to me. If you have to start up with, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, then cut it down, go ahead. Cut it down slowly, go ahead. But me, I recommend 30 and under. Okay, 20 is ideal for me. Just go back to the other video if you need to, watch my strategy, and get ready to fucking make them triceps grow. Let me know what you think too. Put your comments here. I can't answer all of them, guys. I really don't have a lot of time. I'm doing so much shit. You have no idea. All right? I just did the Generation Iron thing. You got to go to Generation Iron, watch that. Support them. They're good guys, bro. Generation Iron. They're good guys. But I got a lot of things I'm trying to do. I run my own family. Mom, the head of my family here. I got kids, everybody else. I got a lot of nieces and shit. I take care of everybody. All right? So I don't always have time to answer everything, but I tell you this, I fucking read every one of your comments. I read every one of them. I read every comment. And I love you guys for this. So I want to help you. All right? Maybe, I don't know how to do that Periscope shit or any of that stuff, but maybe one day we'll do a question thing where I sit there and I answer. It's easier than me writing shit. All right, guys, so watch the video, and I'll be back at the end. When we start our triceps, the first thing we want to do is we want to warm up the triceps. We don't go immediately to skull crushers. We don't go immediately to any of those things. We're not going to do skull crushers anyway, okay? We don't like skull crushers. They're wrong. You never do this. This is wrong. That is wrong. If you're doing it, stop doing it. Don't do that anymore. Flat bench, get rid of it. No more of that. I'm going to show you how to do them the right way. But the first thing you should do is put your feet up on one bench, okay? Your feet up on one bench, your hands on another, and do some bench dips or do some regular dips. You've got to push with this part of your hand, okay? You want to push and really get some blood in there. Don't do those fucking dips with all the weight on your, you know what I'm saying? Guys will come here and they'll put their feet up on one bench, all right? And they'll take a fucking big weight, they'll stand here and do that. You don't need that. I want to see you start off, guys. I want to see you start off with your own body weight. And I want you to do your own body weight on it. But I want you to do as many reps as you can and then wait about 7 seconds and do it again. And then cut it down to 5 seconds. And just keep doing it. Do it like, literally do 10, 15 sets, but you should be able to do 10, 15 sets in about less than 5 minutes time. Okay? That's how fast that should go. When you can't do anymore, you bounce, but you stop. You watch, go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You go again, and you go again, and you go again. All right? You do it like that till you can't do anymore. Trust me, you won't be able to do weights. You don't need, that's ridiculous to do that with weights. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. All right? That's how we start off, because by the time we go to our next exercise, which is going to be the cables, all right, which we're going to do either press downs or reverse, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But by the time we go to that, our muscles are going to be pre-exhausted. Okay, we're going to have blood in there. That's the idea. So we're going to do bench dips, about 10 sets to 15 sets, less than 5 minutes time, no more than 5 to 7 second sets between 7 seconds rest between sets. Trust me, you're going to get a wicked burn doing that. All right? But you have to. The one way to do intensity is by cutting your rest periods. When you cut your rest periods, dude, it's different. If you're doing a bench press, a squat, or a deadlift, you have to have rest periods. But when you're doing little cable exercises and secondary exercises, isolation exercise, you don't need that much rest. Come on. You need to make the muscle do the work. You need to use a weight that you can handle, and you need to cut your rest periods down. That is the intensity. And remember what I told you about doing your workout backwards? You do the bench dips first, you do the cables, then you could go on to some of the barbell stuff. All right? I'm just going to show you a couple exercises. But you get the idea. All right. All right, guys, listen. First off, this is an easy bar. Obviously, you know that. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this bar, and our hands are going to be cupped. Like this. See this? Not like this, but like this. So when you push, okay, when we push on our triceps, it's going to go over our head, and our hands are going to push with here. We're just cupping. All right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cup the bar, and the bar is going to go over our head. Now, I'm going to show you in a second. You grab on the inside. It's on the inside, right here. All right, and you grab. That's your grip, right here. Now, as far as the elbows go, a lot of people force their elbows like this when we're going to show you the right way to do this. A lot of people force their elbows like this. We're not going to do that. We're going to wear their natural. Your elbow should be natural, okay? So, we're going to do this right now. I know I'm not as big as I used to be. My boy Marco is going to come in the picture. He doesn't like when I say that, but all right, look. Anyway, check it out. All right, guys, listen. It's my boy Marco. It's my training partner. He's going to show you the right way to do what you guys know as skull crushers. Do not do them the way you normally do them. I'm going to talk to you more about that, but right now, this is the way to get big triceps. It's going to hit the belly of the tricep, the back part of your tricep. Okay? Alright. Marco's going to show you a set. I'm going to talk through it. Okay, Marco's doing this on an incline bench. Now, when I do it, I stand up on an incline bench. Marco's almost 6'3". Alright, he's tall. So he's doing it, he sits down, but I stand up. But anyway, I stand up leaning with my back against the incline bench. But notice how he's doing, he's pulling the bar over his head. He's going from behind the head and up, all right? He's not going to his skull. He's not going to the top of the head. He's going from behind the head and up, all right? As you can see. Now, that's building that part of the tricep. It's building the belly. Now, look at his hands. You see? You see his thumbs? His thumbs are on the other side of the bar. They're not grabbing the bar all the way around. All right, that's what you want. You want to keep your thumbs on the other side. You want to push with your palms. He's pushing with his palms straight up. Notice his elbows. They're not straight forward. They're comfortable for him. And that's what you need to do. You don't have to keep your arms straight forward like it's some sort of law. You know what I mean? But, you got to do it like that, guys. Let me tell you. All right, palm, there, see? Now, I was just showing you there. He moved his fingers to show you. Okay. All right, now, a V-bar. The same thing. What you do is you don't put your hands like this and you push. You push like this. Look, see how my hands are? Again, I'm pushing with this part of the hand. It's very important. It's cupped around now, see? Both sides. All right? And you come here and you push straight down. Whoops, this fucking pulling move. Ready? Straight down. Straight down, okay? You push straight down. And you lock. You gotta lock. You gotta lock. You gotta lock your arms out. Okay? Look, see how my hands are? Like this. Bang. Bang. This will build the triceps. I'm gonna do reverse press downs. Okay? But one of the things when you do this, you don't drive with your fists down. You kind of drive with your thumbs, like this. Watch. My hands are like this. See this? You take it, and as your hands are loose, still, it's almost loose, but you kind of push with your thumbs down. You make your thumbs drive it down like this. See? You make your thumbs right. You go straight down, bang, like this, bang. You can lean back a little bit like that, but what I'm saying is you drive with your thumbs. Your hands are almost like dead hooks. You want to drive with the thumb, like that. Okay? So this is a reverse press down, like this, see, bang. See that? And that will hit the belly of the tricep, the back of the tricep. Bang. And like that, straight down. Now if you were to do this the other way, okay, you would do it with your hands. Same thing. Your hands would be, you push with the cushion right here part of your hand. And you push it straight down like this. Look, straight down, bang. Like that, straight down, up, lock, all the way up, all the way up, all the way down. Right up to your nose almost, bang. Straight down. See how I'm doing that? Look, see my hands? My hands are dead hooks, okay? They're cups. Not dead hooks, cups. And I'm going straight down, see? Straight down, bang, straight down, but you lock. Now hold on. And finally, the rope. Now the rope, your hands, your palm here, should actually almost be pushing, Jesus Christ, should be pushing on this, okay? Your palm should be pushing on this little piece here. You know, the back, not your palm, the back, okay? So you want to push down but out. You don't go out. You go out at the bottom. You push out like on the side. See, look, you're pushing out on the sides here on the bottom. So you come down. This is it. See how you do this? Like this, see? Ow. But I'm pushing. I'm driving. You see that? I'm driving like that. Okay? I'm driving like that. What's important? Out. Hey, right there. Out. That's the right way to do rope pulls. Okay? Your hands, it's this part of the hand that pushes down and out. Okay, to the side. You got that? It's very important that you understand that. Down and out. Look. Down. As you're going down, you can slightly bring them up. You want to really push them out at the bottom. At the bottom is when you push them out. Okay? And guys, if you do this and do it the way I tell you, keep your rest periods down. Alright? Keep your rest periods down. You should only be doing, you should be taking no more. This is not an exercise that you break, you're supposed to be doing really heavy weights on. Alright? It's an exercise you make the muscle do the work. You're looking at like 15 reps. Maybe even more sometimes. You gotta squeeze. If you could do 15, you squeeze out another 5, make it 20. Alright? But you want to put fire in there. And you know what? You wait no more than 30 seconds. 30 seconds is almost too long for me. Alright? Till you go again. That's the way you do these. This is not like a squat. This is not like a deadlift, which takes more time between sets or bench press. This is designed to sculpt your body. This is an isolation exercise. So what we want to do is push down and out. Once we're done, we stop. We wait about 20 seconds, 30 seconds the most, and we do it again. We're going to get reps. We're going to do it so it's like this. Now you're at like 12, 13, 14. Squeezing out those last couple. And as you're going, if you're having trouble, you can bounce a little bit and get a little bit fire. Oh, faster, like that. That's the way to do it. Make the muscle do the work. Stop worrying about the heavy weights. All that heavy weights and go home shit's bullshit. Trust me on that. I'm not telling you to lift lights. I'm not telling you to lift light. I'm telling you to use a weight that you can handle. Alright. Okay guys, this exercise right here is for the outer part of the triceps. And right there, that part of the palm, that's Marco's palm, we're going to push with that part of the bottom of the palm. We're going to put it up against the plate, okay? You're going to take the dumbbell and you're going to let that dumbbell, see, the plate is resting on that right there, that part of the palm, the bottom of the palm, because that's where you're going to drive. You're going to drive with that part of the palm, all right? And you're going to go from one side up, all right? That's what you're going to do, all right? Keeping that palm up against the dumbbell plate, you're going to go from one side up, from one shoulder to the other shoulder. Now you can see that's all for the outer part of the tricep. That hits the outer tricep head. One side up, like that. You see? From one side up. Then you're going to switch the dumbbell, okay? And you're going to go to the other side. Now, Marco's doing this very slow, okay? I bang it out. But you're going to go from one side over. See how he's doing the other side? You can see that's the outer tricep. It's going to build that hard little knot on the outer part of your tricep. But you got to keep it going. You know, rest. What you see Marco doing is going from one arm directly to the other. He does not put the dumbbell down. Okay? Now, again, that top plate is pressed against the palm. That's what you want to do. All right, the exercise you just saw Marco doing, like this, the plate has to push here, the plate flat on here, okay? Now let me explain something to you. You have to do like 4 or 5 sets of that. What you got to do is you go one side and immediately to the other side, then immediately back and immediately back, okay? This is 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. By the time you hit 4 sets, you'll feel a big, huge knot here. You got to do reps. You got to go no rest. There is no rest with that. It goes from one to the other, then back to the other, then back to the other, then back to the other. Okay? Each time you go, it counts as 1. Half, 1. Half, 2. Half, 3. Half, 4. You do that non-stop. You do about 20 reps. You should only be able to do about 15 reps and squeeze out the 5 more. If you have to, you can even help yourself with your hand like that and push it up. Okay? But you got to make it burn or it's not going to grow. All right, so there you have it. We did our triceps, all right? Now listen, guys. There's a lot more exercises you could do for triceps, and you know that. I'm just giving an example of different things that I do. I can't go over every exercise with you, and I think I showed you enough to just show you how basically the triceps are going to work. Those are the basic exercises that I do that you can work around. You can add some of your own exercises in. You know, some guys like that dumbbell behind the head and all that stuff. That's fine. Make sure it is part of your, when you grab that dumbbell, here's the roundness of the plate. Grip it like this and come from behind the head. All right? Now, again, my boy Marco is a really tall guy. Now, I'm 5'6". Okay, so I stand up on that incline bench back like this, and I'll pull over my head. Boom. He sits because he's tall. All right? If you have to sit on the incline bench and your head hits the back of the pad, that's fine. But for me, I like to stand, and I lean back like this. I stand on, I stand, but I'm at an angle like that. Okay? Do those exercises the way I showed you to do them. Put your hand spacing the way I showed you to do the hand spacing. All right? Build your own routine around exercises that work for you. But those tricep exercises I show you are my favorite tricep exercises. I can't go through a whole book of tricep exercises. I think you guys get the hint. I think you kind of get it after this. Remember, always refer to my strategy video to keep the rest periods down. And don't use weights you cannot handle. Nobody's impressed. Believe me. Okay? All right. I'm going to give you a little finishing story here about why, I'm going to tell you a little story here about Arnold for a quick second. About me in the gym with Arnold, how he actually woke me up to not using weights that were too heavy. And here's how. Just a little quick story, maybe a lesson that you're going to learn here. One time I was about 20 years old, 21 years old, and I was in World's Gym in Venice Beach, okay? And I was working out, and Schwarzenegger was in there. Now, and he was doing cable rows, and I was doing V-bar, the press downs, like I just showed you guys how to do, all right? And I was in there, and I was using a lot of weight, and when I was doing it, Samir Banu, who went on to be Mr. Olympia, but this is before he was Mr. Olympia, showed me, like, he was doing it, and I was watching him do it, and he was like doing V-bar press downs, and it was kind of lifting him up off the ground a little bit, because he was using really heavy weight. He was bouncing it, like in a rhythm, So I did that. I had, like, a lot of weight on there, man. I mean, I was doing, I had like, I don't remember, it was like 150 pounds or something. This shit, I only weighed about 10 pounds more than that, So I'm over there, and I'm almost like jumping to get it down, and I'm doing it like this. and Schwarzenegger was doing cable rolls, but we're on the same machine, you know? So it's like a jungle, you know, thing, right? And, you know, he's on the other side, and he's working out, and, you know, I can see he's looking at me a little bit, you know? And, you know, the other guy he's training with is kind of like, you know, saying something and everything. And after I did a set, I did like 4 or 5 sets, and after I finished the set, he said to me, "What the hell are you doing?" And after Arnold said that to me, I was like, "Oh, what am I doing wrong? I mean, you know, I thought it was going heavy, you know," and I was like kind of bugging out a little bit, you know, because it's Schwarzenegger kind of questioning you, you know, and that's when he said to me, "Don't get so emotional." I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger saying that, so it rung in my ears, so I realized then and there, holy shit. I fucking look at, you know, they're not looking at me. I'm not impressing nobody lifting heavy weights. They're laughing at me. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that. See, you know, you're in the gym. All these guys are fucking jacked. You know, at that time, everybody's built, you know. The whole gym was jacked. And you know what's funny? They weren't lifting that heavy. Arnold wasn't lifting that heavy. I mean, he wasn't breaking no records. But, you know, I thought I had to impress him, you know? I made a fool of myself. I was like, kind of embarrassed and pissed off because Samir Banu was doing that. And I had worked in with Samir Banu a couple weeks earlier. And, he, you know, he was training triceps and he was doing that. So I started doing it, you know what I mean? And, you know, I just thought it was funny because, you know, basically I realized, okay, you got to lighten this shit up, you know? You got to lighten this up. Mike Christian, same thing, once said the same thing to me. And ironically, I was doing the same exercise, but I knew Mike Christian. He's like, "What are you doing? What is that?" And I'm like, it's, you know, V-bar press down. Samir Banu showed it to me. You know, and Christian's all like, he had that high laugh, you know. And he's like, "Samir," you know. But after Arnold said it, it kind of woke me up. It made me realize, oh shit, maybe better stop this and change a few things. And that's actually what really was my epiphany. It made me realize I got to start doing things right and start doing things stricter. And it didn't matter how much weight I was lifting. It mattered how I was executing it and how I could put the strain on the muscle that I was targeting. Okay? Yeah, I wasn't in the gym to impress anybody anymore. So Arnold kind of helped me with that. He didn't do it purposely, but he kind of helped me. But I must have looked really ridiculous, okay? Like some of you guys, when you're in the gym and you're trying to lift weights that you really can't handle. That's the moral of that story, is when you're trying to lift weights that you really can't handle. And it's not about the weight that you're lifting. It's about making the muscle do the work. It's more about all the way up, all the way down, and the contraction. It's about the execution of the exercise, putting that stress right there on the belly of that muscle, okay? That's what we got to worry about. It doesn't matter whether it's biceps, triceps, shoulders, rear delts, traps, back, you know, chest, legs, calves, hamstring. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? You want to make sure that you're putting all the stress goes right on that muscle you're working. And the way to do that is strict form. Cut the rest periods, okay? Keep that intensity high. And use weights that you can handle. You're not a power lifter. Again, there's no powerlifting show that's going to show who does the most V-bar press downs. Alright. I think I got my point across. I love you guys. I want to help you. Follow what I tell you in this video. Be good to your girl. If you got kids, be good to your kids, okay? I'm just telling you. Stop fucking around. I love all you momos, man. I love all you momos. Some of you are fuckos, but I love you momos. Alright. Go to musclesportmag.com.